And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
Weird. Yes, bestie. Buckle up, because we're diving into the wild, messy, tea-soaked drama of the biggest flop of the year. Disney's Snow White reboot, starring Miss Controversy herself, Rachel Zegler. And trust me, this story has more plot twists than a telenovela marathon. Okay, so, you know how Snow White got kissed by a prince and lived happily ever after? Yeah, this ain't that story, honey. This version is less fairy tale and more PR disaster, and Disney spent $300 million just to end up getting roasted harder than a pumpkin spice latte in July. Welcome to Holly Molly, your go-to for scandalous celeb drama and the wildest tea straight from Hollywood Boulevard to your earbuds, baby. Today we're talking about how Rachel Zegler went from Disney princess to box office villain, why even Madonna is allegedly side-eyeing her, and what the actual heck is going on in that eerie laughing video from the empty theater. Yes, that one. Weird. Let's start with the basics. Disney's live-action Snow White, girl, it bombed. Like Titanic, but no love story and a lot more awkward press interviews. The budget, $300 million. The box office, barely scratching $100 million. Weird. Not even Prince Charming could save this one. And fans? Not happy. Like, why are there no dwarfs? Why is Snow White suddenly planning a feminist revolution and canceling romance? Look, I love a strong, independent woman, but this ain't the Hunger Games. And then there's Rachel Zegler, the main character energy of this whole disaster.
I'm a narcissist.
From day one, sis was beefing with the original fairy tale.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
She called it old and misogynistic, which, like, fine, but maybe don't drag the actual source material of your biggest movie. And when people dragged her for that take, she immediately flipped it. Suddenly, she was like, OMG, I love Snow White. She inspired me so much.
Weird.
Sure, babe, but the drama didn't stop. No, it escalated like a Real Housewives reunion. Rachel started pushing her activist takes harder than the actual movie. Important? Sure. Good for promo? Not so much. Fans were over it and started calling for boycotts. Okay, now, this is where the tea turns piping hot. So Rachel goes viral for a video where she's visibly upset about the movie's flop.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
low-key blaming everyone but herself.
Weird.
Cut to her in an empty theater, posting a video of herself laughing hysterically, like Joker vibes. People were legit asking if she was okay. Twitter went full, is she having a breakdown mode? Girl, blink twice if you need help. You'd think after all that, she'd lay low, right? Nope. Rachel just booked the role of Eva Perón in the West End revival of Evita. Yeah, she's literally playing one of the most iconic political divas in history. And guess who is not loving that? Madonna. Yep, the OG Evita is reportedly big mad that Rachel didn't even name drop her in her little "I've loved Evita forever" speech. Like, hello? Madonna literally fought to play that role in '96 and won a Golden Globe for it. Madonna's inner circle is spilling that she feels slighted. And honestly, I get it. You don't just ghost the material girl. Reddit is like, how does she keep getting roles? One person said her voice is great, but her acting is, quote, meh. Another called her the face of Hollywood privilege. Ouch. And let's be honest, if Evita flops too, it might not be a fairy tale ending for Rachel Zegler. Oh, girl. Just when you thought this plot couldn't get messier, let me introduce you to the silent feud that's been bubbling under the surface like a badly contained spicy McFlurry. Rachel Zegler versus Gal Gadot. Yup, Wonder Woman herself is allegedly done with Miss Snow Not So White. So rewind to August 2024. Rachel drops the trailer for the Snow White remake. It gets like 120 million views in 24 hours. Impressive, right? She posts a sweet thank you on Twitter, X, saying, "Love you all so much. Thanks for the 120 million views." But then, she hits everyone with the follow-up tweet, "And always remember, free Palestine." Now, if you've been even half awake on the internet, you know this was instantly taken as shade toward her co-star Gal Gadot, who is Israeli and very publicly supportive of her government.
But I think there's something so special about Snow White, the fact that it's about the humanity and it's about nature as well, and it's a beautiful story about an amazing girl who wants to find the true self of her.
Gal didn't clap back directly because classy shade is still shade, but she reposted a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. "Darkness cannot drive out darkness." You know the one. It was giving subtweet and peace signs energy, but then it got spicier. A few days later, Gal allegedly shared a post that low-key dragged Rachel for throwing dirt at her own co-star. The post mysteriously vanished, and suddenly, those red carpet giggles between them, gone. Insiders say Rachel and Gal went from "we love each other" to barely speaking, like award show seat apart level awkward. Disney noticed too, and you know when the mouse gets involved, it's serious. For the Snow White premiere, Disney banned interviews, allowed only select photographers, and basically bubble-wrapped the whole thing to avoid further disaster. Meanwhile, Palestinian activist groups have called for boycotts. And let's just say the film's future looks darker than the evil queen's magic mirror. So now it's not just a movie flop, it's political controversy and a marketing nightmare all rolled into one tragic tiara. Disney really said, what if we made a fairy tale, but with actual global conflict? So is Rachel Zegler just misunderstood?
I'm a narcissist.
Or is she the villain in her own origin story? Either way, she's not going away anytime soon, especially with Evita, Madonna shade, and Twitter trolls all watching her every move. Stay tuned for more chaos, more drama, and more reasons why Disney might never touch Tangled ever again. This is Molly from Holly Molly, signing off with a venti iced drama. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell faster than Rachel changes her opinions in a press junket.
There's no line, there's no filter, it's gone.
Yeah.